Hello my dear students, and I welcome you back to the chemical kinetics chapter. So students, in the previous class we have derived the integrated rate equation for zero ordered reaction and for first ordered reaction. Okay, for a zero ordered reaction, what is the integrated rate equation? See, we can either express the integrated rate equation for zero order reaction in this way, where what is the small k? It represents rate constant, r naught represents the initial concentration, and this r represents what? Concentration of a reactant at a time t. The same equation can be represented in a different way, that is, in another words, like k is equal to a minus x, where a means initial concentration and a minus x refers to how much amount of the reactant has reacted. So on solving this, we will get it as x upon t. What is the x? X means amount of product formed or amount of reactant that has been consumed in the reaction. In many ways you can express this. Next, for a first order reaction, okay, so we can express the integrated rate equation in terms of, natural logarithm, that is ln. So k is equal to 1 upon t into ln of r naught upon r, where again small k is rate constant, then r naught is the initial concentration and r is the concentration of the reactant at time t. Okay, so we will simplify this by converting into log. Okay, then k is equal to 2.303 divided by t, means when you convert ln into log, you have to multiply it by 2.303. Okay, so when you multiply this equation by 2.303, what it will become? K is equal to 2.303 divided by t log of r naught minus r, where r naught is again the initial concentration and r is the concentration of the reactant at a time t. Again, this equation can be expressed in this way, that is k is equal to 2.303 divided by t into log of a divided by a minus x. A, small a represents the initial concentration and a minus x represents what? How much amount of reactant has been consumed at a time t. Okay, this is what we have studied in the previous class. Okay, now we shall derive the integrated rate equation for a typical first ordered gaseous reaction. Okay, now what we are doing? We are deriving a integrated rate equation for the first ordered gaseous reaction. Say okay, so let us see how we will derive. Okay, say there is one gaseous reactant is there and it will decompose, giving you B, which is also gaseous, and C, which is also gaseous. One example I'll give for this is that example is, say, sulfuryl chloride. Okay, so as you can see here, I have taken sulfuryl chloride, which is a reactant which is also in gaseous state. Okay, this will decompose into sulfur dioxide and chlorine. Okay, so this is this general reaction is there. Now see, when the time is 0, okay, suppose this is one closed container. Okay, this is one closed container and I have taken sulfuryl chloride in this. So when time is 0 at the initial stage, okay, whatever the pressure is exerted on the walls of these are the walls now, isn't it? These are the walls. So whatever pressure exerted by the gas on this wall of the container is because of what? Only sulfuryl chloride. There is no other component in the initial state. The pressure exerted by the gaseous molecules on the wall of the container is because of only this. Okay, so here, so pressure is measured in atmospheric pressure. Okay, so when time is 0, what is the pressure exerted by A? It is Pi. Pi means initial. Okay, remember student, or I hope you know this, that when we are expressing, see, when the reaction is taking place in liquid state, then we will express I mean when the solute is solid and the solvent is liquid, then we will express the amount of solute in that solvent in terms of concentration. Okay, but when the reaction is gaseous, then we will not consider concentration, then we will consider the pressure exerted by those gases. Okay, so this is also gas and these two products are also gas, so we will express their concentration in terms of pressure. I hope you are understanding it. Okay, so when time is 0, the pressure is exerted only by this. Okay, so pressure exerted by this is 0 and this also by 0. Okay, after some time, at a time t, what is the pressure? See, as per the reaction here, what's happening? After some time, what will this sulfuryl chloride has a decomposed into giving you sulfur dioxide and chlorine. So now along with this sulfuryl chloride, what are there? One is SO2 gas is there and another is Cl2 there. After time t. Okay, so now the pressure exerted on the walls of the container is because of three components. One is this, another is this and another is this. So there are three components now. After some time, say after 10 seconds or 15 seconds, now the pressure is exerted by three components: sulfuryl chloride, sulfur dioxide and chlorine. Okay, so here, so what happens? So at time t, now the pressure exerted by this A is Pi minus X. Okay, and what is the pressure exerted by B? It is X atm, and C also it is X atm. Generalization we are taking it. Okay, so here what is the pressure of this is Pi minus X. Okay, we know earlier from the I mean if the gaseous reaction is taking place in liquid state, what we know, integrated rate equation can be written as K is equal to 2.303 divided by T log of initial pressure divided by pressure of A at a time T. Okay, so Pi divided by Pa, so where Pa is the partial pressure of A at a time T. Okay, I hope. I mean, what is this meaning is, see, Pa refers to after 10 seconds, what is the pressure exerted by sulfuryl chloride. So that pressure we call it as partial pressure. Means in this overall, three components are exerting pressure on the wall of container. So in that total pressure, what is the contribution of sulfuryl chloride? That we will call it as partial pressure of sulfuryl chloride. Similarly, when I say what is the partial pressure of sulfur dioxide? In the entire pressure exerted by these three components, the contribution of sulfur dioxide is called as partial pressure of sulfur dioxide. I hope it is clear. Okay, so where Pa represents what? The partial pressure of A at a time T. Okay, now Pa can be calculated. Now we have to calculate the value of Pa. Okay, Pa can be calculated as, see, total pressure at a time T is given by P total is equal to Pa plus Pb plus Pc. Means when this A has a decomposed into B plus C. Okay, so Pa plus Pb plus C. Okay, at time T. So P total is equal to Pi minus X plus X plus X. Now there are three components. Okay, so the total pressure is equal to Pi minus X plus X plus X. So on solving out, we'll get this X will cancel with this. So we will get it as P total is equal to initial pressure plus X. Okay, then this X is equal to P total minus P initial. Now this is the value of X. Now what is the meaning of X? X means how much amount of A has been consumed at a time T. Okay, at X means the value of X means how much amount of A has been consumed at a time T. Okay, students. So X is equal to P total minus initial pressure. Okay, now we know that Pa is equal to, Pa means what? Partial pressure at a time T is how much now? Pi minus X. So Pa is equal to Pi minus X. Okay, so Pi, now X value we have calculated here. Okay, we have calculated here, so substitute those values. So we will get it as partial pressure of A is equal to 2 times initial pressure minus total pressure. So this is the value of PA. Now this one we have to substitute where? In equation number 1. If you substitute here, then it will become K is equal to 2.303 divided by T log of PI means initial pressure divided by 2 times the initial pressure minus total pressure. This you have to remember. Now this equation many times in competitive examination they have asked, or in board examination numericals will be asked on this equation. Means they will give you one gaseous reaction and they will give you the pressures, like initial pressure they will give, okay, total pressure they might give, or you have to calculate like this. They will they may ask you the numericals based on this. Okay, I hope it is clear. See, simple again, by taking this example I'll tell you what's happening. When time is equal to 0, only sulfuryl chloride, only one component will be there. So in the initial state, the pressure exerted on the walls of the container is because of only one component, that is sulfuryl chloride. So after 10 seconds, this sulfuryl chloride has decomposed into sulfur dioxide and chlorine. So now at 10 seconds, now the pressure exerted on this wall of container is because of 3 components. One is this and these 2. So total 3 components. Okay, now at 10 seconds, the total pressure of these 3 components, is given by like what I can write it as. So here it is, yeah, total pressure here. So total pressure at 10 seconds it will be, okay, it is PA plus PB plus PC it will be. So then we can calculate the X value, means at 10 seconds how much of sulfuryl chloride has been decomposed. If you get that value, okay, then at 10 seconds what is the contribution of sulfuryl chloride, or what is the partial pressure of this, that you can calculate in this way, and that we have to substitute here. Okay. We will solve some numericals, but before going to numericals, let us see the application of the integrated rate equations. So now we shall see the application of integrated rate equation. Okay, so there are mainly 2 applications. One is we can calculate one order of a reaction, and second rate constant of a reaction. Okay, so the integrated rate equations they will help us in 2 ways. One, we can calculate the order of a reaction, and second one is we can calculate the rate constant for that reaction. Okay, now let us see how do we calculate. Okay, now we know various rate equations, like no, for earlier only I have written for 0 order reaction, what we can write, K is equal to R naught minus R divided by T. Okay, then for first order what we can write, K is equal to 2.303 divided by T log of R naught divided by R. Okay, these 2 equations we know. Okay, then what we have to do, say take one example. They will be giving you, suppose you are studying one reaction and you don't know what is the order of reaction, then what you have to do, you know the integrated rate equations, then you have to put the datas, we call them as kinetic data of a reaction. Kinetic data means what? Say one reaction is there, say A is giving you B plus C is there, okay. When time is equal to 0, you have to know what is the concentration of this, okay. So now we have a reaction, say A is giving B plus C, okay. So we have to measure the, say at a time when 0, what is the concentration? Let us say this is a 0.5 moles I have taken, okay. This is a concentration, sorry, molarity, this one, this is the concentration of this, and when t is equal to 0, these will be 0 0, and when after 10 seconds, let us say only 0.43 is remaining, so this will be, you are getting some amount here. Then after 15 seconds, again you are measuring it, say let us say it is remaining this much, again some amount will be coming here. Then what you have to do, like this, you have to continue like 20 seconds. So now it is remaining as 0.27 moles, sorry, this is moles, right, molarity. So this is the concentration of A after some time. So what we have to do, see, now we have got the data, okay, like at 0 seconds, at 0 time we had this much of concentration of A, then at 10 seconds this much of A is remaining, then 15 seconds this much is remaining, then after 20 seconds this much is remaining. So now I don't know what is the order of the reaction, but I know the integrated rate equations, okay. We know integrated rate equation. So what I have to do, I have to substitute these values, say at 10 seconds, at 10 seconds what is the R naught value, this is the R naught value, what is the R value, that I will get it. So this I have to substitute here, okay. Then I'll get some K value, I will get it, I'll get some K value. Next 15 seconds, again we have to put the same value, okay. Then again substitute at 15 seconds, what are the values that we have to substitute here. Again, if the values at 10 second and at 15 second, if they are same, okay, then we will say now this integrated rate equation is correct. Then this integrated rate equation is of which order? It is for 0 order. Then what is the order of reaction? Then the order of the reaction will be 0, okay. If you are not getting the same value of K from this equation, then you have to go for this equation, okay. Then if you are getting constant values of K at different time interval, if you are getting the rate constant value same, then this is the correct integrated rate equation. Then this integrated rate equation is of which order? This is the first order. Then the reaction will be of which order? First order. So we will be getting what? Order of the reaction. So this is called as hit and trial method. Means we don't know exactly what is the order of reaction, okay, we exactly don't know what is the order of a reaction. Then we have to carry out the reaction at a different time interval. We have to note down the initial concentration and concentration of R, okay. Then we have to substitute at a different integrated rate equations. Whichever integrated rate equation is giving you constant value of K, that is the order of reaction. Now suppose this equation is giving, means this is a first order reaction. If it is not, it is not giving, but it is giving, means it is a 0 order reaction, okay. That is why it is called as hit and trial method or a trial and error method, okay. So from integrated rate equation you will be getting what? You are getting the order of a reaction and we will get the rate constant, okay. Now there is another way from which you can calculate the order of reaction. That is how we will do that. We call it as experimental determination. Experimental determination of order of a reaction, okay. Experimentally, how do we determine the order of a reaction? See, simple. Again you have to collect the kinetic data, okay. Then one already we know how to calculate the order of reaction. One is by integrated rate equation, another way is by graphical method, another one is graphical method. So here we'll be plotting a graph. So let us see what is a graph. Okay, here we'll be plotting a graph of rate versus concentration. So we'll be plotting a graph of rate versus concentration. Okay, say one graph I will plot. Say this is your rate along the y-axis, then concentration along the x-axis. Okay, so now if the graph is coming like this, okay, it means what? From this graph, what you can say is that rate of the reaction is the same, whatever the concentration is changing, but even though the concentration is changing, rate of reaction remains the same. So means what is the order of the reaction? Then it will be zero ordered reaction. Why zero ordered reaction? Because in zero ordered reaction we know that rate of the reaction does not depend on the concentration. So if you, when you plot a graph of rate versus concentration, and if you are getting a plot like this, then the order of the reaction will be zero order reaction. So you have to remember the graphs, because in competitive examination they will ask you many questions. If you refer on this only, they will give you rate versus concentration or concentration versus time. I will again, I'll take that later on. So this is, if the graph, if you plot, that is rate versus concentration, okay, and if the graph is like this, okay, it means what? Rate of the reaction is increasing with the concentration. Then what? It is a first order reaction. Why first order reaction? Because as the concentration of the product is increasing, rate is also increasing. Okay, so if the plot is like this, then we will say what? This is the first order. This is the first order reaction. Okay, now suppose if these two graphs you are not getting like this, then you have to change here. What change I have to make? See, now I will take a concentration, square of the concentration if I take, versus rate. Okay, then again if I am getting a graph like this, then this is second order, this is second order. Then for third order you have to make it a cube. Okay, so in this way, by plotting a graph of rate versus concentration, okay, by plotting a graph of rate versus concentration, you can determine the order of the reaction. Now once we know the order of the reaction, then how do we calculate the rate constant? How do we calculate the rate constant? Once we got to know the order of the reaction, then we have integrated rate equation, isn't it? From the integrated rate equation you can calculate the rate constant. Or else what we can do? I'll show now. See, we have integrated rate equations, isn't it? I'll write it here. For zero order, say R is equal to minus KT plus R naught. This is for zero order. Remember, this is for zero order. Or else I'll write it better. Zero order. So what is the equation? R is equal to minus KT plus R naught. Now this is like Y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, so along the y-axis you plot a concentration. So R versus time. X means time. Time you have to plot along x-axis. Okay, for zero order reaction, what you will get? So see, if you are getting a equation like this, you will get a graph like this. Why? As the time is increasing, concentration of R will be decreasing. So you will get a graph like this. Then plot or slope. So for zero order reaction, see, the rate equation is R is equal to minus KT plus R naught. Okay, this only on rearranging we will get it like this. See, K is equal to R naught minus R divided by T. So don't get confused. Okay, this only this written in this way. Okay, so so this equation is like y is equal to mx plus c. So when plotted graph, that is r along y axis and time along x axis, so this is constant, so this is your r naught. Now the slope value is equal to OA by OB is equal to minus k. Okay, so this is your rate constant. So we can calculate the rate constant for zero order reaction by graphical method by using integrated rate equation. Okay, now for first order reaction, again ln of r is equal to minus kt plus ln of r naught. Okay, so I mean this is just like this equation is how like k is equal to 1 upon t ln of r naught divided by r. This only rewritten in this way. Okay, don't get confused. So now this is also equation like y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, on our y axis ln of r and x axis we have taken time. So on plotting a graph, we'll get a graph like this, and this where the point meets the one y axis, this is your r naught value, then slope value is equal to OA upon OB is equal to minus k. This is the rate constant for first order reaction. Now the first order reaction can also be written as in this way: log of r is equal to minus kt by 203 plus log of r naught. Okay, when ln is converted into logarithmic to the base of 10, we will get an equation like this. Okay, so this equation is also like y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, then again log of r versus time, when we plot we get a graph like this. This point where this line meets on the y axis is log of r naught, and slope value OA upon OB will give you minus k upon 2.303. See, examiner will confuse you in examination, okay, by giving the value of concentration either in logarithmic to the base 10 or natural log. Okay, graphs look the same, but the values here are different. Okay, so when it is log of r, okay, then it is minus k divided by 2.303. Don't forget or don't get confused. Sometimes you can also write it like this, log of r naught by r, this term, log of r naught by r, this means the product. So concentration of product increases with respect to time. Here concentration of r at t is going to decrease, so we'll get a negative line like this. But whereas in terms of product, it will go on increasing, so we'll get a graph like this when log of r naught by r. Don't get confused. Okay, so here slope value you will get it in positive, k upon 2.303. So please carefully look into the graphs. Okay, whether the graph is given in terms of product or in terms of concentration. Again, look into whether the log is in natural log or logarithmic to the base of 10. Okay, then the rate constant, they are different way. Okay, all the graphs, if you look, I mean here the three graphs, this one, this, they all look the same. Okay, but you should look into on y axis what they have given. Okay, that will again in zero order reaction. Okay, here for first order reaction we have calculated in terms of product, isn't it? So in case of zero order reaction in terms of product, I'll write it here, plot a graph. It will be x versus a time. This will increase like this, you will get like this. Then again here the slope will come, then the value will be in positive. Here if the graph is like this for zero order reaction, the rate constant value is in negative, but x versus time, if the plot is like this, if it is a zero order reaction, then it will be positive. Okay, so please look into those graphs. Okay, graphs are very, very important. They will confuse and they will they can confuse in many ways. Okay, and graphs are very, very important. So in this class today we have calculated. First what we had studied is we derived integrated rate equation for the first order gaseous reactions. Then we also studied the application of integrated rate equation. What are the applications? There are two main applications. One, using the integrated rate equation we can calculate the order of the reaction, and second we can calculate the rate constant. Okay, how do we calculate the order of a reaction? Okay, we know the integrated rate equations. Okay, for zero order we know what is the integrated rate equation, for first order we know what is the integrated rate equation, isn't it? So whichever integrated rate equation will give you the constant value, that is the order of the reaction. Okay, then once we get to know the order of the reaction, then using the same integrated rate equation you will get the rate constant. Okay, now experimentally how do we determine the order of the reaction? Means by plotting a graph. What was that? Rate versus concentration. Okay, their different order reactions will be having different nature of the graphs, so please carefully look into those graphs. Okay, then finally we have also plotted a graph of what? Integrated rate equation versus time we have plotted, that is in terms of concentration versus time only. So please do look into the graphs carefully. So in the next class we will solve the numericals. You will get the much more clarity about integrated rate equation and rate constant and order of the reactions. Thank you.